So here we are, end of September 2025, looking at the West Hartford real estate market, seeing if we can pick up on any trends based on the data here in the great town of West Hartford. So whether you are looking to move here or you already live here in town, we're going to take a dive at the real numbers and share what is really going on real estate wise here in town. So before I dive right in, as always, don't be shy. If you want more specific breakdown of your particular situation, as real estate is of course very situational depending on price point, area, etc. My team and I, we are always happy to talk and dig a little deeper with you if that helps. So let's get right into it. There are some changes that we are seeing in the marketplace right now. Some of our key metrics that we look at are status quo, and others we're starting to see some trends that are definitely worth talking about. So anybody that's watched my past market updates here in town knows there are a few key metrics we look at. We don't want to get drowned in the data, especially the irrelevant data, but we do want to take a look at the metrics that do matter most. And the first one that I wrote down for everybody is active inventory. So last month, there were 46 single-family homes for sale towards the end of the month when we did this video. Right now, there are 41 single-family homes available. This is something we talked about last month. As you go into the winter months, the fall and the winter, this number usually, historically speaking, continues to dip and go down. This is something I talked about last month, and we are already seeing signs of that. Yes, 5 homes may not seem like a lot. However, when you go from 45 to 41 or 46 to 41, that's 10% of the inventory, right? So it's a 10% dip when you're talking about 5 homes. So it's something that we'll continue to monitor, and I would expect that to continue to trend down. So nothing out of the norm there. Historically, that's something we do see. Second thing I want to look at, closed sales in the past 30 days. So this has been the first month we've seen a drop off. There's been 41 closed sales in the past month in town. The prior month, there was 55. The month prior, there was 56. So we're starting to see an adjustment in closed sales. Now that's going to be something to monitor, because traditionally speaking, what happens after Labor Day is the market picks up again. So as some of these new pendings close, I would actually expect that number to trend back up in the next couple months. But of course, it's going to be something worth seeing. I mean, heck, that is a dip. You go from 55 to 41. That's a pretty substantial, a little over 20% dip in total closed sales. And, we are seeing that in terms of market activity. Whenever there's a dip like this, buyers become a little pickier with their offers. They become a little pickier with home inspection items. And the reason for that is because they have more choices, because there's less total buyers in the marketplace. So this is something we will follow. My prediction is this will bounce back over the next couple months. Here's the one that we started following last month, days on market. This is an interesting one. We were trending right around 4 or 5 days on market for a long time. Then last month, we jumped up, almost doubled to 9.9 days on market. And right now, over the past 30 days, we're at 13 for median days on market in West Hartford. That's a sign, again, that kind of goes with the buyer number decreasing. Now homes are taking a little bit longer to sell. Now, historically speaking, heck, 2 weeks is not a buyer's market. It's still a historically speaking, a seller's market. That being said, again, this is another statistic I want to keep an eye on. We're going to closely monitor closed sales and median days on market for the next couple months to see if this is a trend that continues and we're starting to see a shift, or if this is something that will rebound with the post-Labor Day push we usually see. Next one I want to look at is average sales price. This is one we've talked about a lot, in these videos. As you know, again, if you've watched some of the past videos, this is our most volatile number traditionally. We've been hovering right between 560 and 610 for median sales price. For the past 4 or 5 months or so, it's bounced in between there. Last month it was at 560, so the lower end. This month, past 30 days, we're right around 575. So it is normal to see jumps here. somewhere in that range. Now, if we went up to 700 or 750, that would be something worth following. But as of right now, as long as we're in that 560 to 610 range, that's been pretty normal, for the past 4, 5, 6 months that we've been doing these videos. So that part is pretty consistent as well. And the list to sale price ratio is actually also very consistent. We are right at 107% right now. So homes are still averaging an over asking price sale. Last month they were at 108. They've bounced around a few percentage points here, but this is right on target. Now the caveat with this one, and I always say it because when people hear 107%, 108%, you're always going to get the seller whose home's sitting on the market and they're like, well, why did mine not go over asking price? The strategy and the price matters here. You don't just throw it on the internet and get multiple offers and have it go 108%, right? The price point you're choosing, the way you're leveraging the competition and creating offers, all that matters. What you're saying to these multiple offer people when offers are coming in matters. I did a video, and if you want a copy of this, drop a comment below. I did a video about why we do not recommend using escalation clauses a little while back, because it actually puts the seller in a little bit leveraged position. So there's little strategy nuances that really matter here. It's just not an automatic that your home will sell for 108%. One of the things we're going to monitor closely again is that 30-day closed sale process, because we saw those buyers dip and that average days on market. If those two numbers keep heading in the direction they're going, that list to sell price ratio will 100% continue to come down too. That'll be the next metric to come down. But as of right now, that metric staying strong, is a good sign that the prices are pretty stable. But again, we're going to track all this. Real estate is situational, depending on the area, the style, the condition, the square footage, right? All of those are sub-markets within the greater market. If you want a little bit closer look or talk on any of these items, don't be shy. We're here. We're happy to help. And I hope this video was good and informational for you as we head into the fourth quarter of the year. I can't believe it. Fourth quarter already.